Hey everyone, welcome to another Tuesday Newsday and the very last one for 2025. I'll be traveling next week and then we're in the holiday season. So, we've made it to December. We've made it to the holiday season. I know, RJ, you said that you're ready to take a break and get a long rest in.
Yeah, it's been a long one. It's been a fun one, but it's still been a long one.
Awesome. Well, I've got RJ back, who is the line developer for Shadowrun, and I've got Ian King, who's the art director for Shadowrun. Hi, Ian.
Hello.
Ian loves making public appearances, so we're going to make this as painless for him as possible. No answer.
You said you wanted to talk first.
No worries. So we are going to do news first and then get into some Shadowrunny goodness. I'm excited for what we have to show you guys today. But first, we're going to start with battletech news. There's not a lot of it, but I do have a new trailer from Piranha for the video game. So Tyler, if you can take us over there.
Shaw, to decide the fate of Terra. I've chosen the world to guide, to act as our proxy battleground. Calm God will defend this world, supported by the appropriate air, artillery, regiments.
Calm Guards are an army of glorified garrison units. To refuse.
Whose side are you on?
It's coming back better now.
The wolves await your decision.
They will come for us with everything they have. Cedars have headed out to the wolves since the start of this invasion. Prepare to drop.
Find us a way out of this trap.
Wow. Stay out of my way, spheroid. We'll finally bring this damned invasion to an end. Must be painful witnessing poison on us spine with his spheroid ways.
You all come to us somewhat feral.
In our mission to return from exile and re-end Terra. Anna? She is one of our finest warriors.
We are fighting to end this once and for all.
This planet was a death trap, and we walked right into it.
This has become a fight for the survival of our clan. That is a battle we cannot afford to lose.
The Primus and I await your response.
The triple treat box is
Awesome.
back, so you can...
So, Wolves of Tukayid. I've never known how to say that. Do you know how to say it, RJ?
I always thought it was Tukiyid, but apparently it's Tukayid. So, who knew?
Tukayid? I don't know. But awesome work from our friends over at Piranha Games. So check that out, please. That is some awesome work that they're doing over there. So now for battletech, Mercs Wave 4 and 5, we are still waiting on some platforms had some staffing issues, so they're trying to finish the last like 1 to 2 of the Leviathan's retail orders that are massive, but they've had some staffing issues. So as soon as they're done with that, they'll be setting up and getting Wave 4 and 5 out. And then we've got for battletech, don't forget Aces Scouring Sands is out now. Dave, I assume you're going to do the drops for me this time, so I'll let you do that. Thank you. Start exploring the Inner Sphere's smaller conflicts with Brush Wars Operation Guerrero. So the link is coming for that. December free battletech fiction is Holiday Hostilities by Russell Zimmerman. So check that out at the link. And Defend the Franc Reaches in Jeff Swift's The Marshall Way. So lots of fiction this month for you guys. Check that out. That is our BattleTech stuff. Now Shadowrun, we're gonna get into some AR discussion here, but in the meantime, word on the street is that the winter 2083 issue of Augment is out now. So get your copy at the link in chat. Relive one of the classic adventure series from Shadowrun First Edition with the remastered Harlequin. So check that out and run that adventure at home. I'm excited for that one. I haven't done that yet. I might do that one for a stream at a convention or something, like an abbreviated.
Oh, anytime you have Harlequin, it's fun.
Yeah. December free Shadowrun fiction is The Resonance script by Phaedra Weldon. I love Phaedra's work. Phaedra did Dark Resonance, and that's one of my favorite Shadowrun books. So I'm excited for more technomancy nonsense. And explore magic in a new way with the latest Shadowrun release, Deus Ex Arcana. I have that right here. Ha.
Yay!
So get your copy. It's going to be a little bit featured in what we talk about today, but we'll come back to that. Catalyst General News, Defend the Valley of Peace in the all-new Kung Fu Panda role-playing game. So whether for adults or kids, this is an awesome and fun and silly RPG. It's a short thing. It's PDF only through our web store, but you can play in the world of Kung Fu Panda with Poe and his friends. So check that out. I think it's just $10 for the PDF, and it's a ton of fun. So get your copy of Guardians of the Four Winds, a Quincy's Tavern game, and enjoy some relaxed strategy. I got to play this for the first time at PAX Unplugged, and it's got, like, it's an easy game in terms of mechanics, but it's like depth of strategy. So I only played it once and got my butt kicked because I was still picking up on the strategy part. But I'm excited to play that here at home. It's a nice piece too because it looks like a book, the box does, so you can like put it on your bookshelf. Don't forget to sign up for the My Hero Academia crowdfunding campaign. So there's the link in the chat. We are still on track at this point for next year. In February, there is a chance we may just push that to a retail launch because next year is going to be a pretty busy year for crowdfunding for board games and fiction and RPGs. So we'll see what's coming there. And then get BattleTech or Shadowrun themed holiday ornaments when you place an order for $45 or more at the CGL web store. So that's at store.catalystgamelabs.com. And if you spend $45, you get the ornaments. So check that out. It's just while supplies last. So I'm not sure how we're doing on inventory right now, but get those before they're gone forever. Awesome. I think that is all my news. If there's any questions in chat, we'll get to them at the end. But for now, I want to come back to you guys. And I think, Tyler, we're going to go ahead and transition over to our screen share while we chat. Because our big focus of what we're going to talk about today is the Sixth World Secrets website and the Holo app for AR reading of your books. I am really excited for this. So I guess, RJ, we've had you on before. Ian, how long have you been with Catalyst and why Shadowrun for your art directing career?
Well, first, thanks for having me, Rem. I'll try to engage in realistic human conversation. So I got into Shadowrun working as a freelancer, as an illustrator, and I guess it was about 2010. It just so happened that Brent was looking for somebody to fill a cover role for the missions line back then, and I ended up doing some test images for him that really weren't that good in retrospect, but they were enough to stick on a missions cover, and that ended up being my first gig. I think it was in season 3. Went on to do a lot of illustrations over the course of 4th and 5th edition. Took a little time off to go do an art direction gig, and when I came back, I was telling Brent like, "Hey, I want want a little more illustration work," and he just pulled me into a meeting and said, "Hey, do you want my job?" And I was like, "Okay, maybe. What does it involve? I mean, do I get to threaten people or what?" So long story short, in about 2020 now. Yeah, it's going on 6 years ago. I became the Shadowrun art director, and Brent, of course, ascended to the senior art director role as our art Yoda for many years, and then he moved on last year. So I've been kind of on my own in the weeds for about a year now. So
how's that going?
It's all right.
Awesome.
Nobody's threatening me, and I don't have to threaten anyone. So I feel like we're not doing enough of a Shadowrun yet, but we're working on it.
Now, I remember over the past year or two, you were responsible for putting together the new reproduction copy of Shadowrun First Edition, right?
I was part of the team working on that. The reproduction was, I think, when you see the final product, you may not realize all the work that had to go into it, because there's a difference in, say, video game terms between a remake and a remaster, and then something in between. This was kind of something in between. We had to lay out the entire book again and do all the typesetting, proofread the original scan text to make sure that it was accurate, including the typos. And then I had to go in and scan and restore all the illustrations, which was the most obsessive thing I've ever done in my life. To give you a view into how much I put into those pieces, I bought 2 copies of the original book. I was zooming in like 400% on the scanned illustrations, looking at all the little white and black dots and comparing them to both versions of the book I had to determine if it was scanner dust from my scan, or if it was dirt, or if it was actually a feature of the original image. And I was trying to be faithful at a pixel level, which I probably didn't need to do in retrospect, but I thought it was worth doing, and so that's the way we did that book.
I remember you talking about how much work that really took.
Yeah, I was like zooming in and out so much, my screen was like a strobe of like white and black, and I started getting a migraine. But like I think as a historical product, when it comes to art restoration, these old RPG source books are just as important to me as the Mona Lisa. So I'm gonna put that kind of time into it. I did the same thing with the art portfolio we put out a few years ago too. But we can't do that for everything, but I think it's worth it for certain products.
I wanted to really call that out because behind the scenes, I saw what pain and meticulous detail and how much time that you put into that. And I felt for you, because as soon as we released it, we had people that were so excited about it. And then we had people that were like, 2nd edition when? And I was like, be nice to Ian.
Well, the good news on that, I won't get into any plans on whether it's a yes or no on 2nd edition, because we still have to make some decisions there. But thankfully, a lot of the original art files for 2nd edition survived all the transfers between companies over the years. So at least on my side, it wouldn't be as much of a problem, but on everybody else's side, which is why I don't want to take credit for the whole book. Like, everyone else would have to do the same amount of work for 2nd edition. I just get a break. Fair.
Awesome. Okay, so you are art director, and you've been doing I love how between the art portfolio and No Future and some of the distinct things that you've been working on that have led up to the 6 World Secrets website, do you have like a favorite work of art that has been under your reign as art director?
That's hard, because generally when I'm working on something, I'm too close to it and I'm a harsh critic. So even when I'm working with artists and they're making the art, I'm still a little too close to it for a while. So I don't actually get the benefit of really looking back on stuff that was awesome that I directed until probably 3 or 4 years later.
Okay.
So like if I told you one thing, it would be from years ago, and it wouldn't be fair to the stuff we've made in the past year, some of which I think we put a lot more bullets into. So,
Yeah.
but I am a big fan of one particular image that just happened to be in the first batch of art I directed. Brent actually sent the assignment off and then handed me the art direction duties for it. He sent it to Andreas Schroth, the German artist at Pegasus, also known as Oz, AAS. And it was this Decker deep dive image that I think we used as the cover of the Age of Rust ebook. I don't think you see the whole thing, but that image is also in the art portfolio.
Oh,
When we did the art portfolio, that was one of the top rated images by users. So that was like one of the 6th edition images that rose above a lot of the original, more nostalgic images that everybody knows from previous editions. So I was actually really gratified to see that, you know, a 6th edition modern artist was getting recognized for that image. But I didn't have to really direct it that much. Oz just whipped it up, and it's still one of my favorite images from him. It's a nice, quiet Decker image with maybe I think it's got a Dunkles on Lives graffiti in it, of course. And
awesome.
yeah, it was a really nice thing that always stood out, and I was always like, I want more of this. You know.
So you said it's a Decker in it, and what's he doing? I'm looking in the art.
It's a woman kind of meditating in a kind of an urban environment.
Oh,
yeah, that's a really nice image.
yeah,
And
that is.
I kind of wanted to make that a source book cover, but we ended up using it for Age of Rust, so whatevs.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a pretty iconic photo. I've seen that before, and I never noticed the No Dragon, No Cry, and Denzel WTF. Cool.
Yeah, Oz is one of the artists who knows Shadowrun really well, so you can expect that there's going to be details in the background that, you know, are lore. Whereas, you know, the average freelancer may not be as deep into it as we are, so you kind of have to coach them on what Easter eggs are we hiding in there.
Cool. I'm pretty proud of myself, by the way, that you bring up the art portfolio, and I'm like, yoink. Right.
Yeah, go buy it, y'all. It's really cool.
I have I've been putting up, my husband and I alternate picking photos that we want to put up, and I've got Lothan, the Wise, and
Nice.
the Seattle view with the pyramid and the Space Needle. So love it. Awesome. Okay, so and by the way, I did mention for our audience that may not have been aware of it, for No Future, this was, I think, in 5th edition, correct?
Yeah, it was a transition, I think, between 5th and 6th.
Can you explain, Ian, what the concept was for that book cover? I think it was so clever.
Well, so I did not direct that one. That was actually before my time, but I am familiar with it. I don't know whose idea it was, but of course, Echo Chernick did the art, so I imagine she had a say in it. The idea behind that cover is to show off what the meat space world looks like versus the AR world. So there's an overlay. There's a slipcase where it's got the AR separate from the meat space art, so you can take it off and put it on and get it's really something that's hard to depict in Shadowrun art, is that, like, you know, a lot of this AR content is not actually visible, right? You're just seeing it. So when you immerse yourself, the world is very colorful, but the real world is actually pretty run down and dirty in a lot of places, unless you're in a corporate tower. So that's the part of the contrast of Shadowrun.
Yeah, I and even the way the character on the cover represents herself, that in the dark alleys she's an orc, she has tusks, but when you put the slipcover on, she chooses to represent herself as either human or an elf or something like that. She's a lot brighter. So I just think that matrix overlay is really clever. So awesome. Well, let's go into Shadowrun Sixth World Secrets. All of this artwork that you've been doing for years and all of our artists have been doing for years. I think this is like the next level up, and I'm super excited about it. So explain to us what Sixth World Secrets is, and let me know if you need me to scroll along anywhere.
Sure. Yeah, so it's kind of a new frontier. It's a bit of an experiment. I'm not going to call it the final frontier because I believe that scratch and sniff books will eventually take over the RPG industry. But until that day comes, this is pretty cutting edge. So what we did, and there's a little story behind this, and this is bringing Echo Chernik back in. Several years back, Brent and Echo met and were like, what if we did like a spell book, like an actual spell book with dragon spells in it? And the idea evolved. Of course, I got involved with it. And Echo started kind of spitting all these ideas out. And eventually we landed on the idea to make it a scroll, not a book. So like a premium product, really expensive to produce, but it's huge. I think it's like 8 feet long and you can hang it on your wall. And as I got involved with it, I was also taking interest in a project that I wasn't originally involved on, which was the Sixth World Tarot, which is just full of all these symbols that Echo put in, including some that I don't even think are covered in the Book of the Lost or any of the companion products. Echo hid all kinds of stuff in the images. And I was like, well, if we're doing the Dragon Scroll to have all these secrets in it, and you've got this kind of hidden lore already built into the tarot, why don't we kind of make this part 2 of the project? And so the Dragon Scroll has a lot of allusions to tarot imagery, but we also added kind of a new layer of meaning to it. And right now it's not fully evident. It's something that's going to take some time to explore. And of course, in typical Shadowrun style, it's not all spelled out for you. There's room for interpretation. Well, when Echo did the art, we were thinking about how do we deliver the spells to people. We thought maybe we just do a companion book that explains what these glyphs she's designing are, whatever. One day, in a wild hair of creativity, she comes to me and says, I found this app you can get on your phone. Or your tablet or whatever, and it lets you scan images and get an AR overlay, and that's totally Shadowrun. So I was like, all right, well, let's see about that. And when we did some experiments with this Holo app, as it's called, Holo AR, we found that like it was just too enticing to let go. So we committed to it, and we said, okay, we're gonna have it where you can get a scan of the Dragon Scroll, get yourself a decrypted password that you can then plug into a website and get the full scroll spell contents. That idea not only gained legs, it turned into a monster, because when we first started out, we were just going to give you the spells. When we started really thinking about what we could do with the technology, we realized we could, tinker with storytelling, and really expand the scope of the project. So the long story is we ended up creating this website, Sixth World Secrets, that is kind of the repository for any stuff that you might discover in AR.
Now, before we dive deeper, I do want to call out for this Dragon Scroll. This is where marketing moment here. First of all, the design for this is the cardboard box it comes in, which is in world. So you've got whooshing, arcane, caution, arcane. So like even the box is in world, which I love. And then it comes in this gorgeous wooden box. It's hard to get it all on screen here. It's got the little Shadowrun carving in it. So it's like, it's very immersive with Shadowrun itself, and that's kind of part of the goal, is that this is an in-world game aid. So your players could find this and discover all these secrets that we're talking about. So we've got a nice little silkish satiny sleeve for it, and then pulling this out here. Again, 8 feet long and double-sided, so just the artwork alone Am I right side up? I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
That's
just the
upside down.
artwork alone that you're getting is gorgeous, and then on and that's on both sides. Whee! So the artwork alone, and then you get to interact in AR with it, which we're going to get deeper into here in a minute. But I just wanted to call out like how much you're getting with this product, and it's 150. So it's a luxury Shadowrun item. If you've got someone that loves Shadowrun, like this is really a cool gift for them.
Yeah, and I would add one thing that's not obvious when you see it on screen is that scroll is made out of this really thick canvas material. I don't think it's going to stop a knife, but it might stop a punch. So
yeah, it's really like it's one of the coolest Shadowrun swag items I've ever seen. So
yeah.
All right.
For legal purposes, I do want to point out that we do not recommend you try to use it as a defensive tool. We prefer it to be an offensive tool. Just throw it at them.
Yeah, I haven't tried breathing through it yet. I don't know if that's possible. We'll see.
So going back then into the 6 World Secrets. So basically you download this app, the Halo AR app. We were playing with this during tech. My phone is kind of ancient, so it wasn't doing it very well. But basically, you go to this site, and if I scroll down a little bit, you scan a QR code for the product. And then from there, it captures that in your AR app. And then when you hold your phone up to the scroll, it's gonna like tag these little pieces that have more information or spells or whatever like that, right?
Yeah. So yeah, you want to get the Halo AR app first, and then you scan the code for the item, and that adds a collection to your Halo AR. And then you should have that saved. We were playing with Rem's phone, and for some reason it wasn't saving the collection, but it's supposed to actually just add it to your app, so you scan that one time. And once you do that, you just load the collection, and once it finishes loading all the graphics, you can aim it at just the compatible product. So as you can see here, you've got the Scroll of the Dragon margin calls and risks and rewards active at the moment. And you put it over the illustrations inside the book, and you can get some AR content. Sometimes it's just little lore, extra fluff, a couple of mysteries. Every now and then you'll find a passcode in brackets that you can take back to this website and enter, and then you'll get some kind of content. It might be a spell, or it might simply be some fluff to read and more secrets and analysis of some of the symbols. And there's a little storyline going through all this stuff that will develop over time, but really over the course of multiple books to come. Still, what's up right now is only, it's not even like a quarter, I think, of what we're actually going to have up by the end of the project. So
awesome. So I tried this with my funky phone. I tried this with risks and rewards, which I have in front of me. So basically, as I held the phone up to the art piece, it had those little tags, and mine kept blinking because my phone's ancient. But you can hold it up to any art piece in the book, right, Ian?
Yeah.
That's just
sometimes the app it's because it's a third-party app. I can't do much other than yell at it sometimes, but sometimes it will glitch out and not display an image, and the only way you're going to know if it's not working is if I have every image in the book active. So I committed myself that if a book is going to be AR compatible, every image in the book is scannable, and that way, you know, if it doesn't display, just restart the app. The thing about the app is it takes a little bit of getting used to before you kind of get over the learning curve. I'm going to add to this page at some point it's a little troubleshooting section where it has some tips for how to use it. For example, like make sure you're in a well-lit space. It should work on your PDF or your physical book, but depending on the lighting in the room, if you're casting a shadow on the image, you may not get a clean read. And then there's you with some experimentation, you'll get an idea for like how far you need to set your phone back from the art to get it to activate, which may be different from device to device. But the idea is that content is because this is kind of an experimental format, it's coming to you kind of fragmented. And if you're a GM and you're trying to figure out how to incorporate it into your game, it's giving you a lot of like raw creative materials that you can bring in over time. But it's also it does have a little bit of structure. We do have on the top of the page, there's a link to the Game Master's guide, and that'll give you a couple of ways to start incorporating it. Probably the easiest way is to do some of the missions in risks and rewards that feature a Johnson character named Dag Rage. That'll actually kick off the storyline. You don't have to have risks and rewards or any of the books to actually do the storyline. If you have the scroll by itself, the GM guide should give you a hook for incorporating it into your game. But the idea is that over time, this character who has the dragon scroll is working on decoding the glyphs and figuring out what they mean and providing the spells on the matrix. And so over time, as books release, more spell glyphs will become activated. There are also rituals on the scroll, and those are much bigger and more involved. And so Deus Ex Arcana is the first book that involves one of these rituals. They're all attached to the tarot suits, so a lot of the iconography is very much tied to the Six World Tarot, if you also have that.
More art.
Yeah, it's a huge art project. We're gonna have 3 more ritual books. Of course, they're attached to rituals. They're not solely focused on them. The next one, I believe, is going to be Explosive Decompression, and then Bleeding Edge. Then Dirtier Deeds, and then Bleeding Edge. And that'll get your 4 main tarot suit rituals. Of course, if you have the Dragon Scroll, you'll also be able to just scan and find the ritual on the scroll and get that information if you don't own the book. But if you own the book and you don't own the Dragon Scroll, you can also grab the passcode from there. So I designed it that way because I wanted to make sure that since it's a premium item we're talking about, certainly go out and buy it if you want to, but it's a limited number of copies. I wanted to make sure that the real meat and potatoes on that scroll are still accessible in some way. So the source books will also provide a window into that.
Well, and I love that since the story that's going in the books is Dag Rage studying this scroll and finding out more, like you've got this in-world, in-character artifact that you can learn along with her. And I think that's really cool.
Where it's going, you'll have to learn.
Also, if you're interested, we did that Shadowrun devs game at Gen Con with each of the developers and me, and I played Dag. So I got to learn a little bit about her through that. So
nice.
Yeah.
Now, what is all this that's under the recent updates, Ian?
Yeah, so those articles are basically announcements of updates. They're all in universe, and just whenever we launch AR for a book, there'll be a post about it. To start the, if you want to scroll down real quick, just for a peek at the man behind the curtain, to start it, that these 2 posts at the bottom, that will actually can be used to start the campaign without the risks and rewards. So you if you're a GM and you're trying to start the story, you can just the GM guide will tell you, like, look for these posts if you want. You of course don't have to incorporate them. There's probably other ways you can come up with later to get contact with Dag Rage, but basically that's the idea, is you're trying to just get on here and get access to what she's doing. And the beauty of the content too is because a lot of it is like research based. There are missions you can do with Dag Rage in some books, like risks and rewards. I think we've got one in I think we've got some in even non-AR compatible books, like maybe Asphalt Jungles, So she keeps coming up throughout all these books, and you can like work with her in real time when these books are taking place. But the data that's on the website is really designed to be looked at in retrospect as well. So if you want to wait to start the campaign until we've got more stuff up and, you know, kind of analyze it and figure out how you want to incorporate it, there's really no time sensitivity to most of it. So you can just slot it in, you know, whenever you're ready.
And just so you know, everyone, this is like our first time showing all this. Like the website's basically in beta. So we're going to do a bigger marketing push for it in early 2026 to get it out to everyone and make sure that they know how cool this is. But this is the first time we've been showing it. And so I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, and as a little FYI, I actually started my creative career as a web designer, like, you know, back in the 90s. And so I used to do all this stuff professionally as a career. And eventually I decided I didn't like it and I moved into, you know, graphic design and illustration. But I used to like code websites by hand in Notepad back 25 years ago. Those were the good old days. Nowadays we have modern web architecture and stuff, but it's also really invasive. It's always like showing you ads and collecting cookies. I built this site like I would have built it 25 years ago. It's stripped down, bare bones. I don't need your information. You don't have to log in. The access code stuff, that's a tool for you to use in your campaign if you choose. It's not like this high security thing where you know, it's going to be collecting your data and stuff. I don't have time to do that. Screw that. I don't need to know who you are. It's better if we're anonymous. But yeah, it's the appearance of security. It's just a little gameplay tool if you want to use it. I would say to GMs, if your team is not really set up where the passcode thing works, you can always, you know, pre-screen it all and bring it in however you want. So it really doesn't matter. Use it if you want to. It's there for you to use. So
cool. Awesome. Anything else you want to tack on to that, RJ or Ian?
I will a couple things. First off, this whole thing is a whole thing. This is not just another product. This is actually one of the mainline Shadowrun meta plots that has been working through multiple books and will continue to do so. We have been purposely making sure that we are including stuff for new books, but at the same time, we've been doing our best to make sure it organically fits the material. So we're not just like slapping this on like an extra coat of paint or just something. Oh yeah, let's put this, make sure we got something. No, this has been organically developing since the original idea began. When we first started, it's like, hey, let's actually make a plot line out of this. So it's been, so this is actually part of the greater Shadowrun meta plot. And I also want to take time to give a shout out to our friend who's been mentioned many, many times here, Aaron Dykstra, because he has been very instrumental in not only the plot line, but in creating Dag Rage, but also a lot of the spell work that you'll see in here is mainly from, you know, he's the one who came up with those. So I just want to make sure we get credit where credit is due.
Aaron is phenomenal. We've had him on the show before too. So awesome. Whether about Six World Secrets, the Halo app, or anything else, is there anything else you guys would like to share before we jump over to Q&A?
I will add that, so since this is beta and there may be some technical difficulties, I will be adding a troubleshooting guide, and I'm perfectly happy if somebody sends me an email. The email's listed on the GM guide right now. If you're having any trouble, I would at least, I may not be able to make it work with your phone because some phones don't do it. Halo has their information on what technology you need on the phone. I'm doing it with like an $80 phone I got last year. But there may be some things I can help troubleshoot, or at least if there are some user friendliness issues, or if anything's unclear on how to use it, I'll be working on kind of refreshing the instructions. So like the more feedback I get, the easier it'll be for me to prepare that for other people who may have the same problems.
Cool. Awesome. All right, well, let's pivot on over. Also, I got excited to talk to you guys and forgot a couple more updates. for Board Game Division, Shadowrun Takedown is at the warehouse, and it's going to be fulfilling for Kickstarter backers after Mercenaries Wave 4 and 5. And the international shipments are on their way to those hubs. So we are working on getting quotes from those hubs in the meantime while travel is happening, so that we can get holidays are going to be a challenge, but so that we can get quotes as soon as possible, get those to backers so that we can start shipping as quickly as possible after they arrive at the hubs. RPGs, I did a backer update for Frostpunk on where stuff was last week. Basically, we're in reviews for the main book. And then the Explorer's Guide, we are looking at additional art that we need. So we're working on getting a art director for that. And then Voltron, I don't think we've gotten to it quite yet, but today or tomorrow, it is? Awesome. So Tyler did upload the Legendary Defender PDF to all backers that are owed that. So you now have access to that first one. The second one is needing additional art as well. This is Defender of the Universe. But you guys now have your PDF for Legendary Defender. So that is out. Hooray! There's also going to be a backer update that comes with that with a little bit extra information, but I can't remember all the bullet points and it's somewhere on my desk. So that will be out in the next 24 hours or so. Okay, that was the stuff I forgot. We can jump over to Q&A. If you guys have questions, just mark them in the chat as questions so the moderators can feed them to us. Thank you, moderators. Question from Lorcan. I think you answered this, Ian, but let's cover it again just to make sure. Is the Halo app compatible with PDFs as well as the physical books?
Yeah, I've tested it on all of it. The PDFs, one thing I will recommend is make sure you have the whole page framed on your screen, and you don't have like multiple pages at the same time with two pieces of art, because the Halo app does kind of struggle to display two or different art panels at once. But that's really the only troubleshooting thing with PDF. It works pretty beautifully. It probably works better than a physical book in most cases. So.
Oh, cool. Okay. Question. This came through. Thank you, guys. The playtesters, all of them, asked, do you know the release date of the next playtest packet? It was originally supposed to be today, I believe. And Keith Hahn did answer, it's now been formally pushed out another week. The website should be updated shortly to reflect this. So that's your update for that. Leviathan's question, what is the latest news on Leviathan's fiction? I did talk to John at PAX, and he does have a manuscript in, and it's under review right now. So whatever that entire process is between review, edits, proofing, all that kind of stuff, it is moving along in the process. RPG question from Grom. How different is the Kung Fu Panda PDF from the Advanced Edition print at Gen Con? I don't believe any. I think that's final. RJ, you might know more about this than I do.
Yeah, in talking with Jason about it, kind of funny, he would know more about that than I do, but yeah, that I do believe that the PDF is the final word on Kung Fu Panda. So if you happen to have gotten a physical copy at, say, one of the conventions and everything like that, that you pretty much got it. So
awesome. Ian Corehammer says, rest in peace, your inbox.
I'm a masochist, it's fine.
Gwen's dad asks, how much to get Alex Ross to do Shadowrun art again?
You know what? I dream of this, and when I wake up, the child in me dies and the practical adult sets in. I've never asked, but he was one of my favorites. So
oh, that's awesome. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll up, see if there were any questions that I missed, but please keep dropping them in chat so I don't miss. And if we wrap early, that's okay too. looking for question marks as we go here. I thought I had seen some up at the beginning of the stream, so I want to make sure I get those to you. Oh, there's the missions rules update. There was a question, Andrew, about Catalyst going to the 20th UK Games Expo in 2026. I know that demo team is, and it's still a conversation with budget for us for next year. But hopefully we should know with the new year starting up and make a call on that for you guys. So. Question from Burkham's: has Lev's stock for international left the factory? It has. It is on its way. So we are also reaching out to them, just like Takedown, for to the hubs for quotes for shipping and everything. So we should get a backer update soon, hopefully, as long as we can still reach them with the holidays. Awesome. I think that was all the questions there. Back to the bottom. Wargriz, have I gotten a chance to play Leviathans, or have any of you guys? I have not yet. RJ, Ian?
I have.
Nope.
It scratches a nice little itch I have, because I love historical battle simulators and tabletop miniatures games, stuff like that. So when you combine some of the more fantasy elements, plus I love aircraft and naval vessels in particular, ask me about all the research I've done about the Pacific War and Pacific Theater in World War II. Yeah. So Leviathan, it's very, very, I like it, because you don't have to have a lot of naval knowledge. If you have just general wargaming knowledge, you'll do just fine. But if you have that little extra naval knowledge, it just makes it that much more fun. Plus, it's really, really cool at the table to start, calling out orders, like you're an actual ship captain, So.
My toxic trait with battletech has been that I don't bother learning the names until I have a painted mini of them. So, like, I know the Daishi, I know the Atlas, I know the Nova Cat and King Crab, because I have painted miniatures that either, honestly, that people have given me. I did paint for a stream. I did the Rifleman and Centurion from the beginner box. But now I maybe chat can help me. This was my first Leviathans that was gifted to me from Night Moss. What is it?
I can't quite tell. It looks like a battleship class. I can't.
Yeah, if someone can tell me what it is, I'll learn the name of this, and this will be what I play, since it's mine and painted.
The last time, when I played Leviathans, it was a few years ago. But I will say there was one highlight that I actually destroyed one of Randall's ships. So I kind of go, yay. So,
awesome.
Of course, I'm sure if we had another round of combat, he would have turned all guns on me and promptly obliterated me, but that's how it goes.
Lorcan, I did give a quick update on Leviathan's international fulfillment. I did just give that a few minutes ago. So on its way to the hubs, and in the meantime, we're trying to get quotes so that we can get that moving as quickly as possible. I would expect January as of right now to start fulfilling. Aster asks, plans to use the Shadowrun missions and general RPG organization with BattleTech Destiny or A Time of War. Jason would be able to speak to that right now, in terms of how it has to do with the RPG, but the decision internally, for now at least, is that the BattleTech RPGs will stay under the BattleTech line, and the RPG line doesn't have ownership of that. So that could change in time, but I would need an update from Ray or Aaron on that. And as far as I know, it's on the list, but hasn't been worked on at all. Yeah,
so far it's just easier to keep the BattleTech in the BattleTech stuff because the people who are doing it know the BattleTech stuff.
Well, we don't do that because Encounters is a board game division thing, so we're just inconsistent. That's Jason Mallory asks,
if it ain't fixed, don't break it, or something.
Jason Mallory asks, will the ARO treatment be limited to rule books, or will it also extend to enhanced fiction in the future?
That's actually a good question.
I don't know. Probably not, simply because it takes a good bit of work to get this stuff together. I would have to look at the other products and see what are we gonna say with it. Because I don't want to bog things down too much. But and it's also a case of like I mentioned earlier, I want to make sure every image is AR compatible if I'm making the product compatible. So I need to analyze like how many images we're talking about per product. But
awesome. I see people making fun of me for saying Daishi instead of Direwolf. My first grinder I played was a Daishi Widowmaker. And that was the mech where I got like halfway through the grinder and did an alpha, like someone did an alpha strike on me and it did like no damage. And then I did one on them and it like utterly destroyed them. And I was like, oh, I see why this is fun now. It was the mech that made me go, yes, BattleTech is fun.
Natasha Karinsky would be proud.
Michael Chandra, takedown international status. I also commented on that. It is, they are on their way to backers, on their way to the hubs. And in the meantime, we're trying to get quotes for backers so that we can fulfill as soon as possible. Awesome. Okay. I think that's all questions. Anything else you guys want to hawk for Shadowrun before we say goodbye?
Can I hawk something?
Do it.
Hawk away, man.
Yeah. So yeah, speaking of takedown, when we do get it on the market, we made some minis for it, and just to point out that I'd like to make more minis, so buy minis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Buy minis.
We have talked in the past about the possibility / probability of us doing a Shadowrun minis game. So help us prove to Lauren that we need a Shadowrun minis game.
Yes.
Help me very much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And that goes for any type of Shadowrun merchandise or swag, because the more people express a desire to buy this stuff, the easier it is for me to convince, the powers that be to make this stuff so that you can buy it. Kind of see how this works. So if it doesn't necessarily have to be like necessarily a game product. This goes for like, apparel. This goes for like patches, pins, anything like that. If you want it, let us know and be loud about it. So
I still need my 35th anniversary hoodie that has all the logos down the from each edition down the sleeve. I don't have mine yet. I need that. Awesome. Gwen's dad asks, runner team sets, corporate security sets, what are the sets that are coming?
We haven't really determined those yet. The Shadowrun, right now with the Shadowrun minis, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ian, we're more in a concept kind of phase of just getting some general designs. And once we get some of the designs finalized, then we'll start thinking about how we're going to organize them. Will they be very similar to like the force packs in BattleTech where they are kind of themed, like was just mentioned? Probably, because it is great marketing wise to organize them this way. We just haven't quite gotten to that step.
But
yet.
Well, we do have the takedown minis though.
Yeah, those are about the only minis that we really have. So if they're
are those organized by anything?
Yeah, they're thematic. They're in 4 packs and they're thematic. So there's 2 threats packs, and which are kind of an assortment. There's like corporate threats and savage threats, and then there's 2 runner packs, and those are balanced based on like I think one of each meta type and a variety of character classes. So they are sort of thematically arranged. I will say, to slightly correct RJ without giving away the deets here, a lot of thought has been put into Shadowrun minis on my side. I am really waiting for a green light. So
Awesome.
it's just to say, when the takedown minis are on the market, after the backers are all fulfilled, whatever's left over, y'all buy them up. Send a quick message.
Clockwork Tuba, I see your Chicago Bug minis, and you're reminding me. So, I know a lot of you guys have seen the fighter jackets for BattleTech that came out. We are also getting Shadowrun ones, and we each had to choose a faction or an icon or something like that. And I'm not really I don't like the corpse, so I don't want to do that. And I mean, the gangs, sure, but I had difficulty choosing mine. So I finally thought it would be hilarious if I did the Universal Brotherhood logo. And what I'm going to do is get patches made and give them out at the cons so that my hive grows. So you just reminded me that I need to order my patches for next year's con cycle. So thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now that Rem has thrown down the gauntlet, now come and find me because I have the Draco Foundation on my jacket. So let's see. Hey, Rem, want to do a little wager to see who might be able to get out more patches and stuff like that?
Sure.
All right. Maybe we'll find some sort of charity thing or something similar to for a little bit more enticement.
Another funny story, and then we'll say goodbye, is Draco Foundation I didn't know about when I created my first. We've rebranded, but my first logo for my company was a dragon sitting around the world. And someone was like, "Oh, like Draco Foundation," and I pulled up the logo of it. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's like mine!" So, I'm pro Draco Foundation. Awesome.
We actually we did an updated version of that logo in Deus Ex Arcana, actually.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go look for it. Cool. Yay. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And again, we will not be back for the rest of the year. I'm actually, since we're talking Shadowrun, I will be in Toronto next week. We're shooting season 3 of World of Shadows. So I'm pretty excited to do that. But I will be busy. We shoot nonstop for 3 days. So we're all exhausted and it's a ton of fun. So I won't be here for Tuesday Newsday next week, and then we're in the holidays. So it'll be January before we have the next Tuesday Newsday. So I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season if you celebrate. RJ, Ian, thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you guys next year.
Laters.